So this is the next build on the channel. What's up everybody, welcome back to T-Dog Customs to another video. Happy Memorial Day. It is Memorial Day today and a lot has happened recently. It's been a rough week for me, or I guess technically last week was a rough week for me. Had an incident with a tree, you can see my face here. And then Saturday I tripped in my garage and dislocated my ring finger, and it was literally like at a 90-degree angle, sticking up. And so I had to have my wife pull it and reset it. Thankfully it wasn't broken, it was just dislocated at the joint. And then 2 hours later from this, I broke my little toe. I love this truck, I really do. When I bought the truck, it had a very a Mako paint job. It was very cheaply done. The clear was peeling, there were runs all over. So anyways, I decided to Line-X this, but it's like, I think it's more like Rhino liner. It wasn't the real Line-X. Anyways, when I did it myself, and you can see like in here how it's like chipping away because I didn't sand the surfaces well enough. Like right here you can see the silver. It's just not, it's peeling away from the places that I just didn't sand well enough. Over here you can see like we're just all in here, this crack is coming out. My personal opinion on this stuff is I would never ever do another vehicle in this. It's just not my cup of tea. I would much rather have power windows, power locks. Power locks is not essential, but it would be nice. I need a whole new interior. Headliner needs to come out, it's bubbling, and I want to maybe do a Starlight headliner, and just kind of revamp this. If you remember in a previous video we did some rust repair here that needed to be done. It turned out really good. However, I still need to sand this down, sand it, and then Bondo it and get it looking nice and good. And then when we paint it, we'll be doing more. But that takes me to this next step of doors are rusting out on the bottom. Okay, you can see right here. This truck is a great truck. As far as frame goes, there's no frame rust. That's like taking this truck out. This is a 99, and I really like it. I'm a huge fan of the crew cab in it. The 8-foot bed, long bed, is just, I love the look. So what we're gonna be doing, I think, is finding like a donor truck on Marketplace that maybe comes with doors, some interior bits, like some carpet. I think I want to put carpet in it, kind of spruce this puppy up. And I really badly wanted to get into another like Cummins swap something, but at this point I think we're gonna go with this. Who knows, maybe one day we'll come and swap this. That would be really cool, to have, get rid of the 7.3 and then get something that is you know, a Cummins powered F350 would be pretty cool. These engines are great engines, but I am more of a Cummins guy you know, 24 valve P pump is kind of my jam. So who knows? But if you come over here, you can see this still needs to be repaired. Pretty easy. Like I said, I already did that one and I recorded it, and it took a little longer because I was recording. But if you're not recording, like, I could knock this out in one evening probably, easy, as long as I'm not having to record anything. And you can see the door, same over here. This truck has over 300,000 miles. We're at 321,000 miles. When I bought this truck, I want to say it had 199. So I've put a lot of miles on this vehicle, and essentially it's never left me stranded technically, except for one time it had a ball joint, a hub assembly, and then one time I ran out of fuel. So those are like the only two times. I don't know if you can see under here, but it's just pretty rusted. And what the previous owner did is they bolted these like supports up, because you can see the rails are just so torn up. So if I get a new bed, because the bed is a problem, you know, and new doors, then I'd have the bed off. Then I could just kind of sand the cab and then paint the cab with the bed off, because before we painted the bed with the cab on, and as you can see, you just can't get back there to get full coverage. I use this truck so much that I don't want it to be, you know, a whole year off. And so if I kind of, I don't know, just kind of keep the suspension, maybe add some ladder bars or traction bars to the front, because I do like the look of when you have like a mini cradle, because I would like to make a mini cradle and then have bars going to the back and the front. There's my little boy. What's up, Beaudry? Mama's over here. Mama's over here. What's up, buddy? For those that have been following this channel for a while, you remember this truck. But for you guys who have not been here since the beginning, you probably don't recognize this. This was a Toyota 2.4D. So this had the non-turbo diesel in it, and I swapped the engine out of this and I turboed it, and I put it in a Mazda B3000. I have since sold that. When I started doing the Jeep project, I decided to sell it. Probably should have kept it, however I didn't. I sold it. So anyways, that is going to be hauled off to the junkyard at some point. It has had a very rough life. A childhood friend of mine had this ever since I can remember. And anyways, so that needs to be hauled off to the trash, the junk, maybe get a little bit, throw it on the trailer, get some scrap metal. I don't even know. But I do need to figure out what we're gonna do now with the hardtop. I thought about like maybe putting some boards across here and setting it down on this. Kind of across like this for now. You know, something like that. Put this across like that. I don't know. Maybe something closer like this and like that. So maybe something like this, and then set the hardtop back here, and that way I can move that over to here. So that might be what I do. That will kind of you know, just help out with things in the meantime. But how am I going to move this? Typically what I'll do is I'll crawl under here and just kind of lift up and move it hand by hand. But with my finger at about 5% and my broken toe at about 3%, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think we'll probably use the tractor to lift it up and then carry it over there to the truck. Do it that way. Just kind of makes the most sense to not get hurt at this point. All right, so let's see. Also, a while ago I retreated this with oil. I'm a big fan of that. It makes the wood nice and dark, and it also it protects the wood from sun and from cracking and splitting. I try to do it like twice a year, so probably right before like winter time I'll hit it again with some good old 10W40 or 5W40. But yeah. All right, let's move these gates up. They are a little heavy. Oof. Let that go down. I'm kind of crazy, you might think, but I put that on there so when I have my straps going, the straps don't rub through the steel there, because I had an issue once with that. Alright. So I'm trying to think. I might another option would be just, instead of getting the tractor out, fooling with that, I could just back the trailer up next to it and then try to just shimmy it off. So maybe I'll try that first. Just backing the trailer up. All right, let's just do that. There you have it, guys. And this will probably not be back on my Jeep until winter time. In other news, got that post, big old cedar up on the top there. Got the whole garden fenced in. That is our cornfield where all those white things are, so we could tell where the rows were. Corn's starting to come up. Some corn is coming up a little later because I think we planted them a little deeper because it was all planted by hand. Some corn we did a little deeper on accident than other. So the soil's a little harder up here on this ridge line, whereas down there it's real soft. So got that though. Things are doing good. I waged war on squirrels. There were so many squirrels and they were starting to dig up the corn that I took things into my own hands, and let's just say the population has been thinning out. Got the trailer over here now, and I didn't get like the pressure washer out or anything, but just kind of did some no scrub wheel cleaner on the wheels, tires, and kind of just wiped down with this rag here some stuff, and got it looking pretty decent, a lot better. Because it was sitting where it was sitting when it rained. It's been pretty rainy here in Virginia. Just got a whole bunch of like that dirt on the sides of stuff, and the ramps were down, so like the ramps were filthy. Just kind of a good habit to get into, and I'm kind of in it myself. A habit is, take care of the things that take care of you. This does not directly take care of me, but I use it, and I want it to last a long time. I want to keep it from rusting out. How would this rig look with teal wheels? I don't know. I'm like kind of, in one sense I think it would look cool, but in another sense sometimes because the trailer's not white. When I first ordered this, I tried to have them paint it white. Now if you go with some bigger trailer companies, they will literally powder coat your trailer whatever color you want. However, this is not powder coat, it's paint. Something that to also be aware of when you're strapping these down, some people will go off of the, like, let's say a frame mount, or let's use these for example. If you tie off of here, you have this suspension. As you go over bumps, whether you like it or not, your suspension on the Jeep, even if you cinch that puppy down, the suspension on the Jeep is still going to give, take, move. You will start wearing through if you have a contact point on the truck or trailer. Let's say it's right here, or let's say your ratchet strap was coming across this and you had it connected to the Jeep itself, not the axles. As your Jeep suspension gives, takes, it will start cutting through. And I know that because it happened to me. So that is another reason why you want to go off of the axles where there's no give. You've got your tires. Yes, tires will give a little bit, but the suspension will give a whole lot more. So go off of that. Do not go off of your suspension. Now for the tying of the knot part. I'll show you real quick. You will start to fold this however you want to. Fold it over on itself like this. This is how you get rid of all this nasty excess stuff. So I pull it tight like this, and you'll just kind of fold it over on itself. Now, I used to be really crazy about this sort of thing, and I would actually zip tie, like get it like this, and then like literally like zip tie it down to make it look clean. However, it is kind of a hassle when you have to keep zip ties, and then you have to you know, cut them and all that. So what we'll do next though is you'll grab it, you'll flip this under, go through like this, then you'll start twisting this, and you'll flip it until it's nice and snug tight like that. Then typically what I do is I'll give it another crank just to lash it down a little bit. But there you go, it looks nice and clean, and that thing ain't going anywhere. So that is how I tie down my Jeep. I've got one more to do over here. Anyways guys, thanks for watching for this video. Stay posted for new content, and yeah, happy Memorial Day. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.